Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Final Fantasy VII walkthrough. The last video there we took care of the sunken Shinra ship, or something like the Gelnika, I've heard it called a couple of times. And if you noticed, just a little bit ago there, Emerald Weapon was cruising around in the depths. For the time being, I'm going to be avoiding him, or her, whatever it is. It probably is more accurate. But anyways, alright, so here is the red Shinra ship, or sub, sorry. And there we have it, the huge materia. The Shinra soldiers are still just kind of hanging out with us. Alright, I think that is pretty much it for now as far as cruising around in the sub. I'm going to head back to shore, I believe, and we will be on our merry way. The next place that we need to go actually is Rocket Town. The storyline does prompt you to head to Junon, but again, I didn't bother, and I don't know that you actually need to. My impression is like you probably end up at the airship or the airfield or whatever it is in Junon, and it's too late. So again, I don't actually know that I've ever done that. I don't know if there's a scene that plays. So again, I just don't know. I don't have that answer. And I don't know what I am doing here, but okay, yeah. Heading to Rocket Town. I hope. Don't make me into a hope. Nope, I'm not. Okay. Looks like we're headed to Wutai first. Or Wutai, or whatever this place is called. I always forget the name of this town. Okay. So maybe taking care of the pagoda right now, which would make sense. I guess we'll see here in a second. Now, as far as the pagoda goes, I believe the reward is Yuffie's. I think it's Yuffie's limit break. I could be wrong. Wait, where am I going? Oh, I'm crazy. Okay. I guess I'm not doing the pagoda yet. My bad. So actually what I'm going to do is, since we obtained the Leviathan scales, we're going to go back to the cave where Rude was at earlier on when we came through here. And there's a piece of materia as well as, I think, a weapon for, I'm going to take a stab and say Cid. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but we're about to find out. X potion, alright. Oop, wrong way, there we go. So, set around here. This place is kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Mount Rushmore, I guess. Alright, the scale of the sea god shines. So you don't have to open up your inventory or anything like that. You just walk up to the flames and the Leviathan scale will shine or activate or whatever. But alright, so there's the Oritsu. Oh, okay, so that wasn't a weapon for Cid. My bad. That was for Yuffie. Not as good, unfortunately, as the Conformer. But the Conformer does have issues. There's a steel as well materia. So that materia does probably exactly what it says. When you attach it to another materia, whenever that materia is used, your character will actually attempt to steal as well. So kind of interesting, you know, if you know that you're about to steal from an enemy, or if you know that you know, an enemy has a decent reward, then you can try to steal, or you know, you can attach that materia and you'll get an additional steal attempt. So I'm not sure if actually you can, I think anyway, that you can attach that to steel, and then it'll actually steal twice. So that's my guess. Again, to be honest, I didn't bother trying that for whatever reason. I guess I just didn't feel it was all that useful. And actually, that's kind of my take on steel as well. I don't really find it all that useful, to be honest. So, you know, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time leveling that up. But, alright, anyways, let's head on back out to the world map. Let's see what I can attach that steel as well with. Again, my impression is that you can probably attach it to so added steel, here we are. Wow, it actually says that you can attach it to commands, summons, and magic. So, although it does say this cannot be used with some command materia, and I don't know what that means. So, I'm not 100% sure if you can actually attach it to steel, like the steel material, so then you could get a 2 chances at stealing. I feel like that would be the most useful thing to attach it to, because again, in most cases, stealing isn't all that useful, and you know, just having your characters randomly steal garbage from enemies is kind of like, eh. But you know, again, if you're trying to shoot for something specific, then I could see it maybe being decent. But anyways, all right. So we're here in Rocket Town. The goal of Shinra here was to load up the rocket with a bunch of huge materia, you know, send it into Meteor and essentially just destroy Meteor that way. Now, even if you lose all of the huge materia to the Shinra, so even if they were able to load all 4 up on the rocket, the events play out the same way, and that's just going to hurt you in the long run because the huge materia is actually extremely useful. I'm not sure if I've actually brought this up in the other videos, but so obviously there's 4 different types of huge materia. There's a green one, a yellow one, a red one, and then a blue one. I don't remember what happens when you interact with the blue one, but anyways, once you obtain them, you can take them to Cosmo Canyon, and we'll actually be doing that in a little bit. And once they're in Cosmo Canyon, oh, what do these guys have? So here's another chance to get more 8-inch cannons, I guess. So again, if you haven't stole any of them yet and you want a complete item list, make sure you steal from these guys. But anyway, so the huge materia, you know, and again, I'll actually bring this stuff up a bit more once it becomes more relevant. But for the time being, it's just important to know that you want to get all of the materials. Like I said, there's a blue one, green, red, and yellow. And really, the usefulness of them is that once you master one of each of the blue one doesn't count. That's a special case, and it doesn't behave quite like the other 3. But the yellow, green, and red all correspond to the different materials in the game. So magic for green, command for yellow, and summon for red. So if you obtain a master of every single, almost every single it might actually be every single magic, and most of the yellows and all of the reds behave this way as well. So basically, if you master every single summon in the game and you take all of those summon materias to the red materia, it will ask you if you want to meld them, and what that does is actually combines all of your different summons into one piece of materia, and that one was called the Master Summon. Now, the crystal itself will prompt you and ask you, or basically say, hey, if you have all of these different summons, and it'll actually list them out for you as well. Again, though, in the case of the summons, it's every single one of them. So you have to have a master, you know, Chokamog, Rama, Shiva, Ifrit, blah, 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 all of those. It takes all of them, it puts them all together into one, And then the great thing is, it makes it so that you can cast any one of those summons an infinite number of times in combat. Now, for most battles in the game, that doesn't matter because, you know, who cares that you can cast Knights of the Round, you know, 10 times. Nothing lives through 10 summons of Knights of the Round. Now, that said, though, some enemies can live through an entire cast of Knights of the Round. So, there's some enemies in the game that it's useful for. So, keep that in mind. But, essentially, like I said, most of them work the same way, the green, red, and yellow. There are actually technically a couple of yellow materials like Slash All and 4 times Cut that you don't need to master in order to get Master Command. Although I do think that the magic materials, I believe you have to level or have one of every single one of them. But anyways, alright, so we're fighting Rude here. Rude goes down like a chump. He didn't look at his watch and run away like he normally does, which is a shame, because I think that's the coolest ever for these bosses or whatever you want to call them. But you definitely want to steal a Zedric from him. Those are limited in the game. I think you can get 3 of them. That's my guess. That is without the W item glitch. I ended up with 99 of them, but that's a story for another time, or an explanation for another time, I guess. Once that's more relevant. But what's this guy? Senior Grunt. Okay. I guess I didn't even try stealing from him, which is odd, but that's okay. But yeah. So anyways, steal the Zedric. I think actually technically you fight Rude 3 times. So there's the battle that we just did. There's the battle in the Galnica, or the sunken airplane, however you wanna, or whatever you wanna call it. And I believe you can steal a Zedric from him there as well. And then there's the 3rd time coming up as well that you'll be able to steal that from him. So. Alright, so here is I think this is the old crew that, you know, originally worked on the space project or whatever. That's my impression anyway. Shut up, just shut the hell up. Okay, buddy. Take it easy. Okay, so what ended up happening here, or, you know, again, the theory is to drive the rocket into, pilot the rocket into Meteor, and it should destroy Meteor. And again, that's the theory. The problem is, you know, they said they were going to put the rocket on autopilot, but apparently the autopilot was broken. So Sid here, being the manly man that he is going to make the ultimate sacrifice and drive or fly the rocket into Meteor. Wow, this is I think this is a little bit of an anti-religious rant here that Sid goes on as well, now that I'm just reading what he's saying again. Okay. What the hell happened? Oh, Palmer's here. What? Okay, so apparently Shira repaired the autopilot. And Palmer's great idea here is obviously to, being that I believe he knows we're inside here, is to launch us along with the rocket. Oh boy. That was actually kind of cool. Kind of a cool little scene there. Alright, so even though the rocket is Does this make sense? The rocket's taking off. So yeah, I guess, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it makes that much sense to me. No, it doesn't make sense. Sorry. Sorry, Square. I'm gonna call BS on launching your rocket sideways. I feel like it would have, like, you know, evened out and pointed straight upwards once the thrust kind of started kicking in, but whatevs. Can we do something? All right, so Palmer locked the autopilot device, apparently. Okay. I'm not gonna crash in a meteor. All right, so Sid's got a plan. Just watch. Okay, what are we watching? Keep an escape pod. All right, so there's an escape pod. That's good news. Decipher the lock code. We'll bail right before we crash in a meteor. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe all I wanted was to go into outer space. Okay. Well, you did. I don't know if there's a hint for the lock code somewhere. I think there is. Oops, I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Alright, so the materia is this way. Alright, there we are. Alright, so here it is. Okay, try and operate it. Yes. Enter passcode. Okay, so if you put in the right code, it'll unlock and you get the huge materia. So what order? Just try to punch in the code. All right, so the code is circle square XX. Now I just entered the passcode correctly the first time, but I assume there's hints somewhere on like, I don't know if it's when you fail. Like if you fail and then it gives you a hint. I'm not sure, but I assume there's got to be hints somewhere. But alright, so anyways, that is the 4th huge materia, so it is official. We have found them all. We are good to go. And I believe now, if you head towards the screen, yeah, we'll be able to move on. Okay. Oh boy, what was that? Oh, it looks like Shira's still on board. My leg's stuck in the debris. Uh-oh. So, something happened here. Some sort of malfunction. Hurry up and go. If you don't hurry, the rocket's going to crash into a meteor. Can't go without my friends. That is true. Seems kind of BS. All 3 of these characters have 255 strength on my game, so... Should have been easy to pick that up. Alright, anyways. So, Tank 8 blue, which Shira here was right. So, a good thing that Sid aborted the mission way back in the day, because the tank did malfunction, and I assume would have meant the mission would have not been a success. So, most likely somebody would have died. That's my assumption. But, alright, so anyways, Shira's going to come into this? I assume she's coming with us into the escape pod. Does this pod really fly? So it looks like, I assume after this point, Sid softened up a bit on Shira. I don't know how you couldn't, or how he wouldn't be able to at this point. She was obviously completely right. So this is outer space. And, yeah, so here Sid obviously gets his... or I should say his dream comes true to be in outer space. So long, Shinra number 26. Alright. So now the pod is falling back to Earth. And here we've got the rocket flying into Meteor. Boom! This seems a little ridiculous. Boom! Excuse me. Alright. So, Grandpa there looking at the Earth, and I assume checking the progress on Meteor. And now the moment of truth. Did it work? Game over? Is it game over? Is this the end? Sure doesn't look like it, and this is absolutely crazy. So, this is apparently not your average meteor. I don't know what type of meteor does something like this, but... yeah, so, not looking good. I don't know, it actually looked like it was, like, layered meteor, that is. So it looked like it had some sort of inner core that was possibly indestructible. I'm not really sure, but anyways. So unfortunately, we didn't win. Shinra's plan failed. Oh, there you go. Shinra's plan was a failure. Alright. But I kind of hoped it'd work. Yeah, well. There ain't no other way. Wow, jeez. I have a hard time believing Reeve actually speaks that poorly, but... alright. Start worrying, there's no stopping it. Pretty optimistic. You up to something? Yeah, I've been thinking about this and that. What time we've been up here? I was thinking... floating... thinking too about the universe, planet, ocean, how wide and big, no matter where I go and what I do, it won't change a thing. Well, that doesn't sound so great. Maybe you're right. But I came up with something different. I thought this planet was so huge, but looking at it from space, realized it's really small. Just floating in the dark. Kind of makes you feel powerless. I guess that's the way I think Sid speaks. Sick and trembling in the middle of this huge universe. Alright. And someone's got to protect it. That someone's us. Right on. Sid, you even got to me. Are we going to protect the planet from meteor? That's a good question. Still thinking about that. All right. So we don't quite know what we're gonna do. Did you hear something? Oh boy. Let's go see Grandfather. Alright, let's go see Gramps. Sounds like a plan. Maybe Gramps has an idea to stop Meteor. Oh boy. So Sid's got a little hint there about I don't know if you want to call it important, but about an event coming up. This is something about, hey, has this ship been remodeled? There's all these levers. Alright, I'm not sure where I'm gonna head to next. Sure looks like the Chocobo Ranch. Probably to pick up a bird. So the plan, I think, is to head to Cosmo Canyon. And I usually like to grab one of the birds to run, because the route to Cosmo Canyon, unfortunately, you can't park the airship right next to Cosmo Canyon because it's like well, whatever, you just can't land there. So I usually leave here with a bird and you know, hop the bird onto the airship and then land as close as I can, and then just run across with the bird. So that's the plan, but that's going to be actually it for this video. So as always, I hope this guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.